and good afternoon to all of you. Today, we'll be submitting our interim report and recommendation to the Office of the Ombudsman on the alleged current involvement of several DPWH officials and employees in obtaining bribes of unwarranted monetary benefits from flood control projects. We recommend the filing of criminal and administrative charges against the following: former Secretary Manuel Bonoan of the DPWH, former USEC Ms. Maria Catalina Cabral, USEC for Planning and Public-Private Partnership, and former DPWH Secretary Mr. Roberto Bernardo, Undersecretary, as well as Mr. Henry C. Alcantara, District Engineer, Mr. Bryce Erickson T. Hernandez, Assistant District Engineer, Mr. Ernesto C. Galang, Chief Planning and Design, DPWH Bulacan 1st District. Number 4, JPD Mendoza, Position Chief Construction Section. Number 5, John Michael E. Ramos, Position Project Engineer. Number 6, Ms. Irene D.C. Ontinco, Position Engineer 1. Mr. Joshua Blitz S. Rojas, Position Engineer 1. Mr. Bernardo P. Villaferte, Position Engineer 1. And Mr. Ermir S. Villanueva, the owner of Top Notch Construction. I'd like to introduce to you our two detailed lawyers from the OSG, Attorney Richard Gabriel Villasol and Attorney Ryan Patrick Tumagos. They are our new volunteers and detailed from the OSG. At this point, may I just say that our budget process is going on smoothly and it should be approved in the regular course of government business. We look forward to hiring more lawyers and more investigators. We expect a tremendous increase in our work efficiency and output. We feel aggrieved in what has been committed against the monies of the Filipino people. We condemn the white-collar criminality. We condemn the ninja style of manipulating the budget so as to please a few greedy few. We thank you for your message of support. We thank you for your patience. We will relentlessly continue the battle against corruption. Maraming salamat po sa inyo lahat.
Ang info dito ng mga law, Section 3, Republic Act 3019 or Anti-Graphic Corrupt Practices Act. Article 217 of the Revised Penal Code, malversation of public funds or property. Article 171 and 172 of the Revised Penal Code, falsification of documents, whether by public officials or private individuals. Presidential Decree 1759 penalizes contractors who violate any material provisions of contracts involving public works, projects of the government and public officials who allow such violations. The Republic Act 9184 of Government Procurement Reform Act and the Republic Act 6713 or Code of Conduct and Ethical Standards for Public Officials and Employees. So yun po yung mga crimes involved in these cases that these referrals that were given to us today.
Question, pwede po ba?
Yes.
Sir, ano na po yung magiging proseso po nito? Kasi I understand, Justice, sinabi niyo po kanina na this will be for evaluation. You're just recommending this to the Ombudsman. Ano po, sir, yung magiging action po ng Ombudsman?
We will go into fact-finding immediately because these are referrals and they may need more documents to be able for us to be able to file cases for preliminary investigation, because you have to inform the accused of their rights and you have to have the proper allegations drawn in to the mix. So it will undergo PI later on, but we will have fact-finding first to be able to complete whatever may be needed to make sure that we have the cases worth filing in court.
Justice, okay lang po ba, sir? Bakit po tayo, sir, nag-recommend ngayon for evaluation and investigation? Unlike po yung nauna po na diretso na po tayo sa PI sana.
So most of our language is the same for further fact-finding or for further evaluation. This is a matter of semantics, I think. That's all.
Justice, pang ilan na po to na pinail po ng ICI dito sa Office of the Ombudsman na simula po nung mag-umpisa po yung trabaho po ng ICI?
I think we have 3 referrals,
Yes. Okay, sure. Sige.
3 occasions of referrals. But we'll be filing more and more in the next weeks and next month. We'll be filing more of these.
If you notice, the ICI is here, but the head of the task force of the DOJ, Yusek Andres, is also present because there's a parallel investigation going on with the task force that we created before the DOJ, which he heads, which Yusek Andres heads, which includes the NBI within their team to conduct fact-finding also and for filing for PI also if the people involved are of salaries grade below 27. But just the same, in their study, the studies being conducted by the DOJ, it appears that there are more people involved higher up the food chain. Meaning to say, cognizable probably by the Sandigan Bayan also. Yun ang mga nangyayari ngayon dito. And of course, you know that former Secretary Babe Singson came from the DPWH and he understands the language perfectly. That's why he was drawn into the picture of the ICI so that the technical knowledge will not be behind. There will be no more learning curve when it comes to the technical knowledge for public works projects. There.
Sir, for uniformity lang po and easier language, the recommendations and referrals, can we refer to them as complaints with the Ombudsman, sir?
Yes, complaints. And so we just have to evaluate it, the documents, we have to evaluate them to see if there are lacking materials so that if we do preliminary investigation, the information that we pass on to the accused will be complete. It's hard to be building up a case where you're conducting an investigation.
To make the record straight, we cannot make any complaint. We cannot file a complaint under our mandate. We can only refer. So the complaint, the referrals, later on will be sworn to and subscribed to by DPW Secretary Pitch Dison, who will make it a complaint. Thank you.
Ombudsman, doon po sa unang naging dalawa na referral po ng ICI, ano na po yung status po nung unang dalawa na na-file po?
Undergoing PI, no? Undergoing PI. Natanggap na ba yung mga summons natin, mga sabina? Natanggap na? Not all. Pero marami na tayong, may mga nagpa-file na ng counter affidavits. Yeah, so yun lang, ibubuin lang natin yun. Make sure that the rights are always respected. Yun naman, due process lagi ang ating sinusundan dito. We cannot rush the judgment. Kailangan due process nila.
Sir, mas mahirap pa i-prosecute now, given na yung fund ay nasa DPP.
Actually, may madaling i-prosecute dito, but actually, hindi pa mahirap po. Parang pareho lang eh, kasi yung PDAF cases are ghost projects din yan eh. They went to NGOs, supposedly with beneficiaries who were fake beneficiaries. Di ba? So nawala yung pera, where it went, it was never explained. Pwede mo mawala ang pera ng ganun-ganun lang kung walang kukuha. Yun lang naman ang tanong dito, di ba?
Sir, follow up lang po doon. Sir, gaano katibay na po yung mga ebidensyang iniihawak natin o hinahanap pa po natin? Kasi puro testimonial po, most of it. Nababack up naman po ba ito ng mga dokumento, iba pa pong evidence?
Alam nyo, AMLA is not always, will not always tell you the story. Kasi we're a cash economy. Di ba? So, we will have to follow a cash trail somehow. And we intend to pursue that.
Ombudsman, considering po yung mga evidences and yung witnesses, kailan may timeline po kayo kung kailan talaga makakasuhan ng Ombudsman itong mga sangkot dito sa mga flood control projects sa Sandigan Bayan?
So, hopefully, kung ngayon ay November 4, by November 11, baka meron na kami na file sa korte. Hopefully, pag nakapasok na yung mga counter affidavits and submitted for resolution. That's Jesse.
How about for the DOJ task force? Yeah. The DOJ task force.
On the
Yeah.
part of the Department of Justice and NBI Investigation Task Force, we have already filed 5 cases for preliminary investigation. And the first hearing date is on November 10. So we expect the counter affidavits to be submitted on that day, and most of them have been served already. So in addition, the approach we're taking is not only with respect to the DPWH officials involved in the misuse of funds. The additional investigation we're doing, together with the help of many whistleblowers named and unnamed, are the proponents and how they actually receive kickbacks. So this is how different this is from the PDAF, because we're not limiting our investigation to the misuse of funds, but those who benefited from this illegal use of funds. So the kickbacks aspect would point to proponents that could possibly be lawmakers, senators, and congressmen.
Sir, if you could elaborate po, hanap na po kayo punuan in this project.
I think I had a discussion earlier with former Secretary Singson and Justice Reyes. And it's some of it can be attributed to gross inexcusable negligence, if I'm not mistaken. Being the Secretary of Public Works it was his job to make sure that things happen properly. I think that's one of the recommendations is really to charge them with gross inexcusable negligence. The same case that will be filed against probably under study now, the Speaker of the House, former Speaker of the House, Martin Romualdez.
Sir, can you elaborate yung kay Speaker Martin Romualdez? Ano na po yung proseso natin? Ano na po yung hawak natin kung meron man na
Hindi
ebidensya?
kasi when we look at the Saldico cases, and the whole pattern that happened, it was really Saldico working with some senators that came up with a final version of the budget. And the plan was laid out there. If fingers do not point to the Speaker, former Speaker, as the leader of the House, he was responsible for the appointment of Saldico. Although Saldico was elected on the floor, everybody knows that it was the Speaker's choice. That's why we have to hold him accountable for that. It's a novel theory. I know we're crossing the boundary of normal legal theory, but we have to stretch it a bit. Kasi nga, the whole government machinery and the Filipino people suffered damages due to the acts of Saldico. And if there's nothing criminal about it, then it's negligence at least. We have to go there. We have to go to that. We have to tread that path already. That nothing is excusable here. At the least, negligence should be charged against those who were responsible for their offices. Ano yan leadership principle yan The buck stops with you.
Sir, meron ba tayong mga ipapatawag na mga tao na involved dun sa investigation naman po of yun nga po, Speaker Romualdez, Bibi Zaldico, yung mga staff niya, paano po ba natin nakikita yun?
Well, we're trying to locate Gutesa if he's going to go back to testify, but we don't know yet. We're looking at all the narrations as a whole. All the narrations from the beginning of the Senate trials that led to these revelations. All of them will be used in putting up the theory of gross excusable negligence. Kasi nga, you're the leader of one house, and the other house is led by Senator Chis Escudero as Senate President, and they were able to come up with that budget, which included insertions, which included diversions of money from what was supposed to be to what became. So that is, if it's not criminal, then it must be negligence. Then it must be one of them. It cannot be completely. Nobody can be completely blameless for that.
Sir, Senator Chis Escudero, paano na po yung investigation sa kanya?
Ongoing, we have statements leading of a money trail leading to him, narrations of fact that are there already. But of course, we want to buttress it with other evidence, which we're looking to right now. Ano nga pag wala ka makitang AMLA trail, then you have to follow a cash trail. We will find it.
Sir, sundot na rin namin, Villars naman po kasi the original subpoena of the House was intended for 4 firms. Pero as it turned out, wala doon yung firms na connected sa Villar. As it turned out, it's Motion Trade, not INE. So, kamusta po yung investigation on the Villars?
Yes, Boy.
Let's face it, there has been a lot of connivance. Congress, DPWH, even the agencies that were supposed to monitor the fund movements. So definitely there was total connivance, and the fact is that congressmen and senators are told by DPWH kung saan distrito sila pwedeng magbaba with SOP. Napakaliwanag nun. There are favorite district offices where they give very high SOPs, and maliwanag na yun sa findings ng ICI. So it's a matter of identifying people who were involved in the connivance that really brought this whole government machinery system total breakdown. The process to us, especially coming from DPWH, is already very clear. Without the role of DPWH officials, hindi mangyayari ito.
At sir, aabot yun hanggang sa mga sekretary.
Umabot na nga
Kay Secretary Villar, sir.
Lahat. Wherever it leads. Because it did not start the last 2 years. It started way back, started in tiny bits in 2018, started to grow. When they perfected the system, it started in tremendous leaps and bounds.